Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to a quick things, yeah? Flex's view. I had to do one. I'm in UVHQ. We just finished off a video with Dr. Andre. That's going to be with you guys very, very soon, talking about Licht's ACL injury. So make sure you check that video out. But this one, I couldn't help but do it because I've seen the clips from the overlap about Paul Scholes basically criticising Lenny Yoro and Matthijs de Ligt, but I'm going to focus more on Lenny Yoro. Basically saying he's not having him. He hasn't been impressed so far and doesn't think we can win a Premier League with the likes of Lenny Yoro, with the likes of Matthijs de Ligt. And straight away online, of course, everyone's on it. Everyone's saying, nah, man, you can't say that. What's going on? Nah, he's a clown. He's a this, he's a that. And a lot of people saying, you know, what he's saying ain't really that mad. He's saying from what he's seen so far, he's not been impressed. So I wanted to discuss that and ask you guys as well, open up the conversation. Is Scholes wrong to be saying he's not having Lenny Yoro? Is he being too harsh? Is he being too critical? Or is he being a realist? Is he being sensible in what he's saying, in coming to the conclusion quite early on in Yoro's career at Man United and his career in general, that he's not going to be the guy to come to that conclusion already? Where do I sit on this? Now, I think that Lenny Yoro has struggled since coming in. No two ways about that. He's shown that he's still raw. He's shown that he's still got a lot of work to do. Why? Because he's 18 years of age, or I think he might even be 19 years of age. But he's incredibly young now. He's incredibly young. So to expect, I don't know many 18-year-olds who have come into the league, the Premier League, as an 18-year-old and come in and be in the finished article. To become a top centre half is very, very difficult to do. Very difficult to do. And if we're being honest, you can't. I don't think it's right of Paul Scholes to write off Lenny Yoro already. That's what I'm more uncomfortable with. That the fact that he thinks like we definitely won't win a Premier League title with him. Well, this Man United team won't win a Premier League title for a hot minute. And I get what Scholes is saying in terms of right now the whole team's not good enough. But I just think that's an overreaction to basically write him off already. We haven't seen enough from Lenny Yoro, and he's still adapting to the league, so he shouldn't be written off. But at the same time, we as a fan base, we do need to be careful with hyping up players too much. I've said it so many times with different players. We've all said it, we've all seen it, and we've probably all been part of it at various stages of supporting Man United. It's what happens. You know, we get the new kid on the block, we get the new signing on the block, we hype them up before they've done anything, and we put them on this pedestal already without having really achieved anything. And if we're talking Lenny Yoro, he's had a fantastic season at Lille last year as a young centre-back. He got into the team of the year, if I'm not mistaken, for Liga, which is a great achievement. And of course, Real Madrid were interested in him. Others were interested in him, and he's come to Man United. So we've seen it as a real coup. And when you read about Lenny Yoro, it doesn't take long to find out just how highly rated he is as a prospect. You know, not right now. He's not. You can't say he's the truth. He's this. He's that. He's already as good as Saliba and Van Dijk and Konate and this, that, and the other and the third. You can't say that right now because we haven't seen that evidence. What we have seen is Lenny Yoro be in a different system as well, which he spoke to Rio about, saying that he has played that system before. You know, it was a different interview. I can't remember which one it was, but he was saying he has played in a back three before. And we have seen him have moments where he struggled. You know, I think the couple of headers, the physical side of the game, how has he been? I'm looking at Chris Wood back post against Forest. He got done then. He got done, I think, against Palace. I think it might have been Craig Richards or Lacroix. I can't remember. I think it was Lacroix wins the header that goes onto the bar and then they score. But on the flip side of that, we've seen some of the things that he is good at, and we've seen some great recovery tackles in big moments where he's been brought on in games where we're losing away at Anfield, where we're losing away at the Emirates, and he's come on and made big tackles. One was against Trossard, I think it was, and the other was on Darwin Núñez, a really well-timed challenge in 1v1. Of course, that Southampton game against Suleimane, he got absolutely rinsed. So it's been a baptism of fire for Lenny Yoro at Man United. It's been, you know, an awakening for him to understand what this league's about. But look at also the team he's been playing in as well. You know, and how Amorim's used him: right centre back, left centre back. You know, he's fluctuated between that. He's been in and out of the squad. Sometimes he starts, sometimes he comes off the bench late in games. Sometimes he starts and then gets taken off. So it's a learning curve. It's a bedding in process. So I can see why people are annoyed at what Paul Scholes has said. But if you look at it overall, have we been impressed with Lenny Yoro? I'll say in some matches I have, and in other matches he's struggled. I've just seen a young player trying to find his way. We shouldn't be putting an 18-year-old in and saying he's the saviour and playing him 90 minutes every game. He should be learning off senior pros like Harry Maguire, like Matthijs de Ligt, like Lisandro Martinez. You know, and I know you say that's the problem, learning off Harry Maguire. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is that's a bigger thing. But in terms of what, you know, he was bought under Erik ten Hag as well. Can't forget that. And he was injured for the first part, so didn't even play for Erik ten Hag. And then comes in with Ruben Amorim into a different system. You know, different from when he played at Lille anyway, or different for what was going on in America for his brief time here. So he's had a turmoil. And actually, I didn't even talk about that. His injury, he was injured from what, August to October, do we want to say? Is that when did he make his debut? Maybe November? Maybe, I mean, back end of last year anyway. So he was injured for a significant amount of time, played against Rangers away in Scotland, and then started against Arsenal, and then that was it, gone, finito. So with a broken foot, I think it was, wasn't it, or whatever he did. So he's, you know, you go to a new club, you haven't been able to play on crutches. I think he needs an operation, everything. It wasn't great, was it? So you take that into consideration, that he's, you know, a big time out. You can't be overcritical of the kid. And also, so I think it's a balance. We can't be overcritical of him, but we also can't overhype him. Do you get that? Like we can't be out here acting, like I say, like he's made it already. He hasn't. He's got a long way to go. But I think there's been promising signs. I think there's been some encouragement. I think when people do the memes online and, you know, Man United are losing games with 13th in the league, etc., we're conceding goals. He's been part of that at some points and had a rude awakening to the league. It's easy to build that narrative that all of a sudden he's not good, and it's a dud, and it's another Man United dud for £50 million for this 18-year-old who's not very good. That's not true. You know, I just think we have to keep calm. We have to allow him to grow. We have to allow him to improve his game. He looks like he's got a good head on his shoulders. You know, that interview with Rio was really good, and he was the first to say himself, like, he watched that video about 10 times when he got skinned by Suleimani, 10 times. On individually, because he couldn't bear to not understand where he'd gone wrong. So look, I think Scholes can come across a little bit like, you know, condescending or, you know, but he got to understand these guys, they've been there and done it, and they've seen what top centre-halves look like. I know people say you're just dinosaur, this, that and the other. He's entitled to his opinion. We might not always agree with it. But he's looking at it now and saying, look, De Ligt and Yoro, he's not really having them. De Ligt is another one. Again, he's been steady. He's a good defender. Has he been the step up that we thought? Maybe not. I mean, if I look at Maguire and De Ligt, I would shade De Ligt because he's quicker across the ground, can probably sense a little bit more danger, a bit quicker than Harry Maguire. So I think it's an upgrade in that respect. But on the ball, De Ligt is more limited than Maguire, I would say. I think Maguire's better on the ball, but I would prefer De Ligt in there for the reliability. He's not just going to get a ball over his head and then just be out of sorts. You know, he made a big mistake at Anfield, sliding on his backside off the pitch when Cody Gakpo done him. He's made mistakes as well. But he's had a lot of games where his box defending's very good, sniffing out danger, big blocks, dominant with his in the air. But what De Ligt does do is he just keeps it very simple and fairly limited with the ball, which is that a Ruben Amorim profile player. And that's actually the bigger talk, is that Ruben Amorim didn't buy any of these players. If he was here in the summer and we were shopping for a new centre-half like we were, would he have gone and got somebody like Matthijs de Ligt? Maybe he wouldn't have. Maybe he wouldn't have, with the demands of what he wants his centre-backs to have. And the attributes he wants his centre-halves to have. So I think it's an interesting discussion about just how suited to Amorim's style are they. I think Lenny Yoro, again, as the outside centre-back, either left or right, preferably right, he can grow into that. He's quick, he's good in duels. He does need to fill out a little bit. He does need to get a bit stronger, but he's still a teenager. That will come. So, yeah, I don't think we should be writing him off. I think Scholes is a little bit too critical there. But I understand in terms of saying, well, not ready to win the Premier League yet. Not, you know, he hasn't been impressed so far. But come on, that's so far. We have to wait to see how this kid develops, and I'm very excited about him. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let me know what you guys think. Was Scholes too scathing? Was he wrong about Lenny Yoro? Or does he have a point? We need to stop gassing up players who haven't made it yet, or players who may not make it, and take it down a notch. I want to know what you guys are saying. Take care. Peace.